Yes. This is Intercontinental Sport TV. Algeria out now. What a match! It was a match to watch. I enjoyed the match to the fullest. Ivory Coast coming out to win the match with the three goals. I thought it was a fourth Guardino was an offside. So was ruled out for an offside. That was a fantastic match from the um, Ivory Coast. That's a team to watch in this tournament. So Cameroon should calm down. After Super Eagles, we should be looking at Ivory Coast. Yeah, what a game! What a game! What a full game. I love the match. I watched it. It was fantastic. Larry is around the corner. We want to get straight into this. What a beautiful match just ended. So we want to do a match reaction up for the match. Let me bring him in. Larry,
Yep.
it is what it is. We have Ivory Coast, three goals, beautiful goals, fantastic. I mean, the build up, the match is fantastic. I enjoyed it. It's a team to watch right now. Ivory Coast, not Cameroon, please. Ivory Coast is a team to watch. Algeria, they are out. I don't know whether Kunle is also standing in by. Hi, Kunle. No. Okay, all right.
All right. Let me tell you something. This is one of the best games I've watched in this tournament. I
Fantastic.
bet you it was full of intensity. I saw fury and rage in the eyes of the players,
Yeah,
especially the Algerian players.
yeah.
It went like 100 an hour. Like it was Frenchman, the French would say sang à l'heure. It was the pace and
Please.
intensity was high up there. And I bet you
Hmm.
this Ivorian team is a team to watch out for.
Absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
I tell you, a team that will bench Zaha, I'm telling you,
It's
it's
loaded.
something else. And
Yeah.
Bailey, I mean, they still produce these results. It's something else. I tell it's something else. So
Look, uh, Sierra Leone, they lost to Equatorial Guinea,
yes,
but
Sierra
that's the full
Leone
time.
unfortunately lost
Yeah.
0-1 to Equatorial Guinea,
So we
and
have
so
this.
Cote d'Ivoire goes to the top of the pool with 7 points,
Yeah,
and Equatorial Guinea is second with 6 points.
6 points.
So Algeria, the
Oh,
title holders, are out last in the pool with just 1 point.
can you imagine?
Now, let me comment a little bit on the Ivorian game, and I want to give the ref. The ref had his own issues on this game. He did great, but he had some flaws,
Hmm.
which I wanted to point out. There were a few hitches that he did not blow on the part of the Algerians, which would have, maybe not produced a goal, but would have made the Ivorians at least go home on a fair note,
Hmm.
you know. And I'll tell you, if you go to the Ivorian press, they'll probably make some comments about the refereeing of this game. The penalty was clean, but that guy was the last defender. So he definitely deserved a red card.
A red card.
And it was not given, not even a yellow, you know.
Really?
So
Wow.
it so some of the refereeing, the infringement, I don't know if he gave a yellow card. I'll check, but the refereeing was not at the best. Sometimes games like this, I like the guy, he's one of the very prominent upcoming refs. I need to find his name here. But trust me, there were some hitches which I think he would have, given the Ivorians some little edge or leverage right there to do something.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make that comment really clear here so that our televiewers will understand. Because For a team like Algeria,
Algeria, yes.
they are not. They are a big soccer nation. They need to be protected. They need to be respected. Coming in a game like this, it has to be on a level playing field in every aspect. Let them lose and know that they lost, you know, uh, so know that they lost with a clear mind,
Yeah,
with a clear mind, and they lost honorably. So honestly, it's something that we need to, that CAF needs to look into. The refereeing
yeah.
in the entire tournament has not been the best so far, but it can get better. I
It
want
can
to
get
wish
better.
that as we're going to the rounds of 16, they will, you know, be looking at ameliorating the refereeing aspect of the games.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring Kunle Faiga in. Hello, Kunle.
Hello, boss.
Oh, you're there. Fantastic.
Yes, I
How you
am.
doing?
Yes, I'm good, thanks. Good evening. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I'm not where I can make use of my camera, so I have to go off camera for today. Sorry about that.
Go
Hope you
ahead,
wouldn't
please.
mind that.
All right. Okay.
Oh yeah, and good evening, Chifa. How's it going? Yeah, I quite agree with you on what you said about the penalty. It was actually funny. Like I don't like. But and the funny thing was, I think VAR was also consulted, and this is where I feel there's a problem with the system in that you have video evidence, but yet you are still making a wrong call. And I think
Yeah.
it just goes to show that um, VAR doesn't really solve in that. I think if the referee has made up his mind on something, he will go with it regardless of what, because it's not today we've seen a contentious decision that the
Mm.
referee has stood with even after looking at the penalty. But that aside, I think Algeria were just woeful. I've actually been trying to make an excuse as to why they were this bad, but then I don't know if you're aware, they participated in this FIFA Arab Cup, and there were some of their players who played in that tournament who also featured in this match, because as you know,
Yeah.
not every player in Algeria is based in Europe. Some play in their local league, some play in the Middle East, so they get to feature. So maybe this was a case of, I don't know, is it fatigue or something? Knowing that they have already played in a competition that just ended in, was it late December? And they went all the way to the final. I think Qatar beat them, if I'm correct. So it's a bit surprising though, but then let's not forget, in 2017 Algeria also went out of the group stages. So, and if we look at their trajectory over the years, sometimes it's like Algeria has this moment like where they are
Mm.
at the top, but then you see them maybe the following year after they come down, and also maybe this is just their down moment. They will be back. They will be back when time comes. As for the Ivory Coast, wow, it was a scintillating performance from them, and
Yeah.
I kind of
Fantastic.
wondered, like, no, I was kind of wondering where was this performance all this while, because we didn't really get to see this when they played Sierra Leone, and when they also played Equatorial Guinea. They were not as sharp as they were today. So you kind of wonder where they are, where all of this was, because in those two games they didn't look like a team that actually wanted to win the tournament. That looked like they wanted to win the tournament, but today they actually did show, like, yes, they did want to win the tournament. And that was a very brilliant goal by Nicolas Pepe. I know the guy gets a lot of stick from
Stick. Yeah.
criticism from fans, that he's not good. But on his day, no, on his day, even the commentator said it, that you do not allow Pepe to shoot with his left foot. That was an awesome strike. Very awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. So when you look at the entire game, honestly,
Mm.
it is not because the Algerians were bad. It's because I mean, it's not because the Algerians were bad, it's because the Ivorians were better, you know. So the Cote d'Ivoire has
Yeah.
shown a really, really brilliant performance today. And,
Mhm.
they are beginning to discover themselves. They are beginning to discover the cohesion. And I think the rounds of 16
Yeah.
will be
Will
quite
be
interesting.
very,
Even though
very.
Yeah.
we right now we have some pairings that have already been confirmed in the round of 16.
Yes.
Um, we know that Burkina Faso is going to play against Gabon,
Gabon on
and
Sunday.
Guinea.
Mhm.
It's still to be determined. I know that Senegal will play Cape Verde,
Cape
Morocco will
Verde,
play against
Malawi.
Malawi, and Egypt will play
Yes.
against Cote d'Ivoire.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
Egypt
gonna.
will play against Cote d'Ivoire.
There's nothing to love. I feel, judging by what I have seen, I think that will be like that's going to be a win for Ivory Coast because Egypt have not, except we're going to see a different Egypt, which I hope to see because even when Egypt played, who did they play yesterday? Yeah, Sudan. They
Sudan.
Sudan.
were, I mean, they were just,
Yeah, they managed to beat Sudan by goal to zero, right?
it should have been more. Come
But
on, yeah, I know, but they could have done more. Because like if you look at head to head when they usually play Sudan, they usually do much better against them. I mean, they have the upper hand over Sudan, so I was expecting them to like, I mean, similar to how the Super Eagles actually did. So I don't know why they do that. It seems I don't know. It seems Egypt are still they've still not gotten themselves, and maybe that's because maybe everything is just always maybe things are just centered around Mohamed Salah. And like I always said, the problem with it is once Salah is not having
On
his game,
form,
yeah,
then it's like the rest
the
of
whole
the
team.
rest of Egypt suffer.
is
And that's
suffering.
very yeah, and that's a very very dangerous that's a very very dangerous thing because it only goes to tell you that they are a one man team. And I am sorry for a team that is one man. I think there's nothing to celebrate about it. No,
Yeah,
really,
I mean,
because
it's
once
it, it
it's at
that's
the end, it's
that's
not
the
cool.
team about that's the thing about teams in Africa. They have that one player that is center around. And if you look at the Ivorian team, they do not have that.
Absolutely.
Yes,
They do not have that.
absolutely,
They
absolutely. They have people they can call on. Exactly.
exactly. Look at
I
Kessie.
mean,
Kessie was actually the man of the
yes.
match today, but he didn't even
Oh,
yeah, he didn't really
yes.
shine in the other matches. But look at today. Look at Kessie. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Kessie was just on
Yeah,
point. And then look
he
at
was. He
Pepe.
was.
Pepe
Yeah.
was awesome. Look at Aurier. Serge Aurier. Serge
Yeah,
Aurier,
Sergio.
honestly, the guy was a machine in the back. He was a stone to crack.
I personally do not like Ure, but he was awesome today. I don't like
Yeah,
him personally as a player because like I feel he kind of like ruined his career because his career was supposed to be much better than this, but because he has that Balotelli like kind of attitude, he's never really been favored anywhere. He's been yeah. I mean club sides. I
Causing
mean look at how he had
calamity.
to leave Tottenham.
Hmm.
Yeah, look at how he had to leave Tottenham. As in, they just had to. They just imagine where we just wake up one morning and they say they are terminating your contract just like that. I mean, you don't even say, "Oh, okay, let your contract run down" or something. So it's always really bad for him. So, but it's good that he's able to put in those kind of performances that make us remember the very brilliant player he was that time when PSG signed him because he showed a lot of promise when he was playing for Lens before he moved to PSG then. So it's nice to see him have those kind of performances once in a while. But this is really good from Ivory Coast. I was waiting like, where the hell are these guys? Like, you guys just have some good collection of players, but we've not seen anything. I'm really happy that I saw it today. Really happy
yeah.
about that.
They are beginning to understand themselves. They're beginning to play cohesively. They are beginning to play as a
Yeah,
team. Because if you look at
yeah.
the goals, the goals came from all team efforts. It was not an individual play. It was all a collective. The pass from
Mm.
this guy on the right side. I always forget his name. And then Pepe that
Pepe.
sent the
Yeah,
ball
Pepe.
to Kessie. and then Pepe got himself a goal as well, and then the third goal. So it was a really good game. Telling you what, the intensity was awesome right to the last minute.
Yeah.
And talking about VAR that you mentioned earlier,
Mm,
yeah, VAR has its flaws, its own mistakes. There are people who are in there still looking at the machines and determining,
absolutely.
the outcome, and so they can make mistakes. Look at this last goal that Cote d'Ivoire scored.
Hmm.
It was awarded by the ref,
And
and then he
Mm,
closed the game. But after it
yeah.
was reviewed by VAR,
mhm.
even after the game had been ended, they
They
still
still
went ahead and denied the goal for
the goal.
offside.
So I don't understand that part. That's why I
Of
wanted
course
to.
it is. You see, that's why they can still give you a red card even after the game has ended.
That's strange. That's strange.
Well, well, yes, it is true because remember this something like this happened last season where um Manchester United versus Brighton. In Brighton's house, there was a penalty that was awarded at the very last minute.
Very. In fact,
But
the
but
referee, I think, he has
yes,
already blown the
yes,
whistle.
the referee overturned it. Yes, and he has blown the whistle, and
He
the
has
players
already
were
blown the
already
and
waiting. Yes,
and he
but
said we should come back for the.
VAR can
Yeah,
review.
I
Yeah,
was
but
shocked.
VAR, yes, VAR can review even after the full time whistle has been blown. So they did, and then they came back and Bruno Fernandez, you know, and he
Um,
scored, and it
yeah,
was so bizarre. It was really a bizarre incident, but I think those are some of the powers that they've given VAR.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Ghanaian game that they lost against this other team where they started fighting,
oh
uh,
yes, yes.
that was against
Let me quickly check. It
let me
was
check here. I think it was against. It wasn't their last game. It
yeah,
was
it
the
wasn't the
game
last game.
against Malawi. I get no, it wasn't Malawi.
No, no, no,
Gabon.
Comoros,
No, Gabon.
It was
Ghana.
Gabon.
Okay,
Yes, it was
okay.
Gabon that they
Oh,
started fighting at
that
the end of the game.
incident, that last minute incident. Yeah.
Yes, that last
Yes,
minute. So they actually awarded a red card at the end of the game
at
after
the
the
end of the
game
game.
had been
Mm-hmm.
finished, and then they started, so they gave a couple of yellow cards, I think a few yellow cards, and then a red card. And so yeah, VR can review games even after it is ended, and we
Yeah.
just saw one, this goal that was ruled out. So it's important that, and I'm happy that VR has come to the African scene and it's
Yeah,
active.
at least we can write something home about that. At least we're doing something about that VAR. I mean, I'm impressed anyway. So far,
Um.
we're using VAR.
Uh. But let's actually be clear that I think it's only going to be limited to CAF competitions. I don't
Mm,
we don't
mm,
I don't think, yes,
mm.
I don't think we're going to see VAR in local leagues anytime
Please.
soon. I mean, even the South African Premier Soccer League, that is arguably the best league in Africa based on how it is structured and organized, they have come out to say that they cannot afford it because it is expensive. According to estimates, to operate the VAR for a game, I read somewhere that it costs something close to about, is it $18,000 or something or something, you
I
Wow.
know?
mean, the
They
FAs
could
can afford
could they
18,000
afford it?
dollars.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see,
No. So
let me give
who's gonna afford that? Even
Kunle,
CAF that is used. Yeah,
let me say something here. You see,
yeah,
except our teams and our FAs don't want to invest in soccer in our thing, because if the local league is developed and the
yeah.
population goes to the fields to
Mm-hmm.
watch the games, they pay gate fees, they can make
Mm,
that money. They can make that money and give a very professional setup in our local leagues. You see, one thing, and I'm surprised about South Africa. Yeah, it's good the thing you mentioned. Why is South Africa not in this tournament? They have one of the best leagues in local leagues in the
Yeah,
continent. You know,
yeah,
it's very
yeah.
organized. Their games are passing directly on their national TVs, and Super Sports.
I,
Huge,
yeah. I think
the stadiums are filled up, and all the like. But the game is not developed. It's not. I mean, their national team, they're unable to come up with a squad that can really threaten Africa. We should be looking at South Africa as one of
yeah,
the best in
yeah.
Africa.
I think okay, I think maybe I might be coming from a different but I think that maybe the reason they haven't really come up with the talent, maybe this is kind of, I don't know, maybe you could call it reverse psychology or something, but okay, no, the reason is, okay, these guys over there, they are actually very, because the structure is there, I feel they're actually very comfortable. So, like, these guys don't push themselves, but compare it to here in a place like Nigeria, where it's really rough and all growing that, where even just to enter a team, you know what it takes. Sometimes you have to bribe
Your
people.
win.
You want to have a
Mm.
trial and all those kind of things. I don't think those kind of things exist in years. So, in this kind of cases, like, or in the rest of Africa, we get, they have to push themselves to the process of pushing themselves. I think that is where the best of them comes out. But in South Africa, when everything is kind of like working very well for you, you just kind of have this sort of maybe laissez-faire attitude, like, oh, everything's working. Because think about, I always wondered that even in the same South Africa, many of are why many of them actually, because, well, I
Mm.
think the league is doing well, it's doing fine, which is good, it's good, because I mean that is the disadvantage the likes of Nigeria doesn't have. We don't have a good league, and that is why you can see many of the players here, they're very desperate to go anywhere, so desperate to even go to next door in a republic. Yes, it is that bad, you understand. So I think those South African players, I think they actually need to let them, you know, let them see beyond that comfort and know that, there's actually something at stake. There's
Mm.
actually something at stake here.
I
You
agree with
understand?
you.
That's what I feel. I feel that that South African team has always been comfortable over the years, and that's why we've not been. That's what I think.
I
That's what
I
I
want to
just
agree
think.
with you on that because if I look at it, the only one South African, or let me say two, that I've known that have played abroad, Benny McCarthy and I think Radebe and PNR. They are the three that I've known that have gone that played professionally.
Mm.
Um, I think
Hmm.
so abroad. You know,
There's Quentin Fortune. There's Quentin
with Quinton
Fortune though,
Fortin, yes,
but I think
Yeah.
Quinton Fortin.
What about this
But I
guy?
think Fortune was.
Markish.
I think Fortune. But I think Fortune was raised in the UK. I don't know if he started from South
I
Africa.
mean,
I might be
what?
wrong.
Yeah. So if you look at it,
Oh,
and on that second point you
yeah,
mentioned, that is one thing too, and one
yeah.
thing we must understand too is that when you play professionally outside, you are being viewed all around
Hmm.
the world, and you become more mediatized. Now, once you are more mediatized in that manner, what happens is that if you're doing very well, then
Hmm.
you will now develop a kind of, how can I put it? If you create a fright in your opponent's mind because you're already
Yes,
in a higher level. So when you're coming now, they know they're looking
yes,
forward to this person, they're looking forward to this person, to this, to this, to this. So
yes.
they start guarding against, and then their squad now is now lessened. I think that's a good point, and that's what
Mm,
is making South African
mm,
soccer not explode. And do
mhm.
you think this aspect could be a limitation in developing our local leagues as well? Because if you say we develop the local leagues, because I'm seeing Cameroon becoming more the local league developing after this because Samuel Eto'o has taken over in the as the FA
Oh,
president.
Wow.
for Cameroon, and that is his intention.
Ah,
He wants to boost the
The local league.
local league and make it really professional, mediatize it, bring in, make the teams pour in a lot of money in purchasing players, even certain players abroad, and bringing them in and make the league more appealing. So I don't know if I should be happy about that or be scared about it, because it has its pros and cons anyways. So
oh, no. Yes, it does. It does because, like you said, if the local league becomes very attractive, um, there wouldn't be really need for there won't be there might not be demands for Cameroonians because, like we said, one of the reasons why Africans have always been good is because the leagues are not well structured and organized. I mean,
Yeah.
if let us say take for instance now, if let us say take for instance now, our local leagues were very organized to that kind of European standard. Let me take for instance Nigeria. I am not sure that we would have had the likes of JJ Okocha, Kanu, and all of that. It's my thought because if you look at it now, when you look at the North African teams, you take it for instance Egypt. Okay, I think maybe it has changed now, but we still have some people in the local league. But you will see that down the years, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, I mean, even Morocco, you have players who are playing in their local and they are actually thriving their careers in those they spend their entire careers in in those places. Most of the players we have today, like you see maybe the likes of Mahrez, you see the likes of Mahrez now, and even Morocco. You see many of them were actually born in either France or the Netherlands. So
mhm,
Mm.
maybe because there was no room for them to play for either the Netherlands or France, they now decided to switch
right, their local
to switch to
countries,
Nigeria. So
countries of origin.
yeah, yes, to do. So and again, if that's even one thing our local league develops. I think the prospect of having people like all Nigerians that are
Mm-hmm.
born and raised abroad, and it might become because at that point now we will be looking more to the local league. It will be good, but then I look at it that how are these people? Because once because one experiences once you are comfortable here at home, you don't really take things. One doesn't really take things that seriously. But then it could be that it might actually be for the better because, as we know, football is ingrained in our DNA in this country. So I want to believe that it will even maybe it will make the national team much more better. I think maybe for South Africa, I might be wrong, but I just think maybe the way they take soccer in South Africa, I want to believe it is not true. I believe they take
Hmm.
soccer like crazy because
My
I
brother,
mean look at the Soweto Derby on it. The Soweto Derby is one of the biggest derbies in the world.
right.
So I want to believe they do. I just don't know why it just
Kunle,
didn't
Kunle,
translate because
Kunle,
South
Kunle,
Africa
I
should
don't
be
want to
number
cut
one.
you. I don't want to cut you short, but it's a breaking news.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a breaking news.
Okay.
So Cameroon, the rounds of
Which
16, will
is
play in Comoros. Comoros
oh wow
Island.
wow wow
Let me see.
wait, so Comoros qualified.
Yeah, they
Oh,
kept the
yeah, yeah,
Comoros
yeah,
best
yeah. That's it.
footballers.
That's the update.
Wow.
Oh my God, Comoros.
Wow.
Breaking news.
Wow. I guess it's because Algeria and wow, that was so
Yes, because
massive.
Algeria
Wow.
lost.
And
Yeah, Algeria lost.
I was
So
already saying
Comoros
it that they've exited because I was like, oh, that because Comoros it's going to be difficult. Likely the best losers
Yes.
are going
what?
to have 4 points. Wow,
What happened to
what
Ghana will
an
not happen to us. God forbid.
no, no. No, 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 no. I think no.
Ah,
No, no. You see, that's
don't
where I think I
underestimate
begin
this
to really
country,
appreciate.
man. Hmm.
Yeah, that's where I actually begin to appreciate. You see, even if Nigeria, let me tell you something. That's why I feel people should. I've noticed something that people have come. They started trying to want to praise Eguavon. I've told them, you people, you better calm down.
They should calm down.
Calm
Hmm.
down. They should calm down because don't forget that Eguavon, he also led Nigeria to third place in 2006. Ironically, Nigeria also won all their matches in that 2006 AFCON in a group that contained Senegal and Ghana.
Yeah.
Ghana, Senegal, and Zimbabwe.
Hmm.
Nigeria had 9 points. Now, what I'm just trying to drive at is that people are actually so in love with this Super Eagles team now because people think, oh, Genotro didn't do well his last few. Agreed, but don't forget that it is actually the same man who assembled this squad.
Hmm.
And if there is one thing that I know, when push comes to shove, I think Nigeria do put in a very, very good performance. It might not necessarily be their best, but they do
Yeah.
know how to bring in, but they do know how to give in good tournament. So even if let us say Gernot Rohr stayed on as Super Eagles coach, I absolutely believe that we would still have gotten out of this group. But well, it is good to see that some players who were not doing well under him, like Moses Simon, has come alive. But it goes to show you that even when Nigeria are their worst, when it's a tournament proper, I don't think they are going to fumble that much. I can't even remember when last Nigeria actually did not make it out of the group stage. Like, I mean, I think we have, and I think Nigeria has the record. They are the team who has made the podium most at AFCON. Most of it being third place actually, which has been 8 times, followed by 3 times as five winners and how many times as runner. Oh, Nigeria has never been a runner. Okay, and I think one time as a runner up. So
No,
um
you guys have been runners up
Nigeria is
against
not Ghana.
Cameroon
I
many
think
times. You
Ghana
guys have
has.
run up against Cameroon many times. Don't even
Yeah, that was why I said one
Where are you
runner up.
coming from, this
Yeah,
guy?
wait
Where
now, and
is wrong
wait.
with you now?
I'd wait now. I said one time runner up. I acknowledged it now. Haba. I acknowledged it. I acknowledged it.
What is wrong with you,
I
Larry? Now,
acknowledged one time runner.
yeah, you are saying something. You are saying something
So
else.
yeah. Don't worry. So but I think it was really poor from Ghana, and I think Ghana really needs to go. Ghana have the players for all I care. I think there is just a lot going for them internally that I think they need to sort out. And they need to. And I think I like the spirit of the Ghanaians though, because they are kind of, it's not like Nigerians were to be that it was us that
Hmm.
went out yesterday.
Oh
Fire and
boy.
brimstone will not. But I was on
Hmm.
on the Twitter spaces. Many of them really took it. They took it like, oh, well, it was always bound to happen. And they identified that these are the problems and we need to address it. They didn't go on this ranting spree. Nigerians, we like to rant. We always like to fight. So look at that Sadiq Umar boy now. Look at how, and I feel this boy is just playing how many games has he played? But they're already shouting, oh, because his first touch is not good. Oh,
Hmm.
because he doesn't seem to be. They are already. It's not nice. It's not nice. Give the lad a chance. Give the lad a chance. The more he plays, the more he will be able to grow into the game. You can't just make a conclusion when one game is played. When
guys.
one
I
game is
I
played, and because he didn't
I
come.
am hello. I gotta
Yeah.
leave right now.
Okay.
I have to be
Oh,
somewhere real quick.
All right.
So I
Okay.
can hook
okay.
up through my phone and continue while I'm driving there. But hey,
All
let
right.
me
No,
transition
no,
right now.
no
Okay.
worries, Larry. You've done so well.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, we'll
No
we'll,
problem.
we'll, we'll try and round off soon. Thank you,
Yeah.
Larry.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the debate.
Yeah.
We
We
always
have
have
a
a
debate
debate on
tomorrow.
Friday, so let's look up to that. So thank you, Larry.
All right.
All right. So Kunle, it is what it
All
is.
right, Chief. Do take care.
So
Yeah.
let's look at
Yes,
tomorrow.
and
We'll
I,
pick it up from there.
I would actually
Go
even
ahead.
have to say I wanted to say something. I'm actually disappointed with Sierra Leone. I honestly no, I mean I am disappointed. No, not with them. I am disappointed for them because I really wanted them to qualify. It's
Hmm.
sad that they couldn't beat Equatorial Guinea. I mean, this
Equatorial
was a
Guinea.
team that drew both Ivory Coast. They drew Ivory Coast and um, Ivory Coast and Algeria. I believe they deserve to qualify because
Yeah.
what they showed was phenomenal. But it's really unfortunate. I wish they had qualified because this was the same Syria. Excuse me. This was the same Sierra Leone that if we remember, excuse me, we
Sorry.
had Nigeria had them in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers where they came to Nigeria. Nigeria was leading 4-0 in the first half and
Hmm.
these people came back and scored 4 goals in the second half, and that was how the match ended 4-4 in Benin City.
In Benin
I,
City. Yeah. I think I lost Kunle there. So let's just hook up tomorrow.
sorry, boss.
Okay. What
Yeah,
happened there?
sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, sorry. I just had just a cough. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
the weather is a little dry and cold today. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
so it's a disappointing one for Sierra Leone. I really wish they would have qualified, but well, like we say, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yes.
Kule,
Yes.
tomorrow we'll be
Yes,
having
boss.
the debate. Tomorrow we're
Yeah.
looking at, shall I say, it's, Eto versus Drogba. Who's the best?
Yeah.
I
That
want
it's
it live
yeah.
tomorrow.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
tomorrow. I
Yo,
wish I could
that
have some
that
Chelsea
that's a
fans,
very big one.
On ground, and I think Eto played for Chelsea as well at some point. Yeah, yeah, he
Yes, he
did.
did.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
he
did.
did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
All Chelsea
Yes, he
fans
did.
in the building, wherever you're watching, tomorrow is tomorrow. We're going to have a debate on Eto
Oh,
versus Drogba. We'll be going live by I think 6 p.m. Nigerian time or 7 p.m. I'll roll it out soon. So Kunle, thank you so much for being around. It's been a while. I know it's because of this AFCON,
yes, boss.
up
I'm
and
happy to
down.
be here. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right,
absolutely.
Kunle. Thank you so much once again. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
All
boss.
right, bye
Thanks
bye.
so much.
All right, bye
Appreciate it.
bye. All right, all right.
Right.
All right, guys. I'm trying to pull up this. I have an interesting messages. Okay, okay. I got a AFCON round of 16. Cameroon be facing Comoros, Senegal versus Cape Verde, Burkina Faso versus Gabon, Morocco versus Malawi. Now Ivory Coast versus Egypt. That'll be another cracker. Nigeria will be facing either Tunisia, Gambia. Okay, Tunisia and the match between Gambia versus Guinea, thereabout. I'm not yet sure. So let's see how it goes. I hope Nigeria, we're still waiting on who we are going to face at the moment. But so far, so good. The match between Ivory Coast and Algeria ended 3-1. So Algeria should be facing their way out. They're on their way out by tomorrow or next. Should be there at the airport. Thank you once again. If you're watching this um, YouTube channel for the first time, this is Intercontinental Sport TV. I think I have a chart somewhere. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any tomorrow we'll be looking at versus Drogba. It says it's a difficult one. I know, but we want to bring them in. And also, it says love them both. Oh, in fact, my okay. Well, I'll say I love Eto. I love Eto more than Drogba. It's Drogba plays for Chelsea, and I'm a Manchester United fan. So I know I always pepper us. Our back line is a threat. Drogba is a threat any day, anytime. But the instinct. that Eto has is exceptional. I mean, it's unbelievable striker. So we'll be bringing that debate tomorrow. Watch out by 6 p.m. Nigerian time here in Eastern time. It's gonna be 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock Eastern time. Tomorrow we'll be looking at Drogba versus Eto. That will be the debate for tomorrow. Once again, thank you so much. Please like the video, help us share the video, and also subscribe. You're watching this for the first time. It's all about us. So what are you waiting for? Please subscribe, tell your friends about this. This is where you can have your updates, you can have your watch along, you can have every details you want to know about AFCON. So we are here. It's my fantastic um, host and I mean co-panelists. All of them are intact. We are loaded. We also have a correspondent already in Cameroon. Always give us live updates and then so on and so forth. So please don't waste time. Subscribe, hit the like button, help us share the video, let us reach out. The bottom line is all about African sport. Forget it. It's going to be massive. Enough content is coming our way. I think very soon I'll be talking with the coach of NFL. That's Nigeria. I mean, National Football League here in the United States. I want to have a kind of concept whereby I'm going to bring in some at some point I want to start talking about NFL. Some Nigerians are also playing. I mean, African players also in NFL. So we'll be running some interview with them. So even basketball and every other thing where I mean, African people are always doing us proud. So at this moment, okay, Eniola send okay, Badmos send a message. Says you are biased, but I see your point. Looking forward for the debate tomorrow. Please, me too, self. I can't wait for tomorrow. Thanks, Annie. You one love, bro. Um, what else again? So, guys, Nigeria, we're still waiting for who we are going to face. It's going to be a massive one. So, thank you once again. And by tomorrow, we'll be back for the debate. Thank you so much. Don't forget to smash the like button. Come on, smash it. Like the video and subscribe. I think I have a message. All right. Okay, that's all cool. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.